Okay, today we're going to talk about your personal narrative assignment. Okay, right here you have Yoda, you got Luke, and Yoda's telling him, "Tell you I will of the time Emperor Palpatine I fought." It's like, yeah, I'm a dork. But this is kind of like Yoda telling a personal narrative to Luke. This did not actually happen in the movie. This is my imagination of what happened, in the off time. So anyway, in a personal narrative, you will write the story of something that happened to you. You can write about a funny event, a sad event, an important event, or any other event that actually happened to you. It has to actually have happened to you. Choose an event based on how interesting it is to you, how interesting you think it will be to your readers, and how well you can remember the details. That's going to be pretty important, that you can remember all those details. Here are some tips on how you might be able to find a topic to write about. These all come from Writer's Ink, so if you have a Writer's Ink book, this is where most of this stuff comes from. Okay. Page through some family photo albums. That's a good idea. Talk to your parents and grandparents about stories of things that have happened to you that they thought was funny. Complete a series of I remember statements, like I remember when, just start filling those in, and you'll come up with a lot of ideas. Collect some possible writing ideas related to different categories, like early childhood, elementary school, holidays, family vacations, injuries, stuff like that. Now in this essay we're going to do this writing process that you should be focusing on and learning how to do all the time anyway. So it's going to be very important that you learn this process. Okay, so this first section, this says pre-write. This is what you do before you start writing. Okay, in this step you decide on your topic, you start organizing your thoughts, you make a plan for your essay. Typically an outline. Now, when you're writing a story, a plot map works, and before you can even decide what the climax is, you need to have kind of a timeline of the events that happen to you. So if you can do all of that, then it becomes much easier to get yourself organized early. Okay? In step 2, you want to compose. And it's called compose because you're actually creating sentences like a composer creates symphonies, right? So you're going to be taking the stuff that you've thought about, the ideas that you put on your outline, and you're going to compose those into sentences. Okay? You don't worry too much about spelling or punctuation or grammar during that first rough draft. Okay, but that's where you get your rough draft. Then you evaluate, and this is part of the revision process. In this step, you're going to take a look at what you've written, make judgments about what you've done, and then make notes about what you want to change. Now, here in red, I should point it out here. Here in red, okay, you'll see ideas and content and organization. Those are the traits that really are affected by that step of the writing process. So this one, you have ideas and content, organization, voice, sentence fluency, word choice. Okay, those are all going to be a big part of that. Notice conventions is not on there yet. Okay, the spelling and grammar stuff. Then you revise. After you evaluate, you revise. Then you rewrite your paper using the notes that you made and the observations that you made. This usually needs to be repeated many times. Typically what we do, I like to do 3 revisions. So the first revision you're revising for organization and ideas. And then the second one, you get into voice and sentence fluency. And then on the third revision, that's when you check your word choice and your conventions. So it kind of breaks those traits of good writing down. By the way, I'm going to do another video about the 6 traits of writing, and you can look that up, and there's some very specific stuff about each trait in there. Okay, then when you're almost done, you need to edit it. This is the proofreading. Okay, this is the edit portion of the process. This is when you look for you look for errors in spelling and punctuation, capitalization, grammar, stuff like that. Okay, so you want to make sure you fix all those things in that editing process. And the reason we wait till the very end to do that is because with the other steps in the process, you tend to change a lot of the sentences anyway, so it wouldn't make much sense to fix all of your spelling in a sentence that you're going to totally throw out. So you want to save the conventions revision, the editing, the proofreading until the very last step. And then you publish. Okay, and then in this step, you get it ready to turn in. Now in this case, it's going to be a story. So you're going to write it, in double spaced, Times New Roman, 1-inch margins. If you want to add pictures, you can, but that doesn't affect your grade at all. So, just make sure that the font and the margins and the way it's presented all meet the teacher's requirements. But, for personal narrative, on this case, it's going to be just like I described. Times New Roman, 12-point font, double spaced, 1-inch margins. Okay. And then you present this essay in its closest to perfect form that you can find. So you want to make it as perfect as possible, and then you turn it in. And don't let any coffee stains get on there, or don't let it blow out of your car and drag through the mud as you go. None of that. Okay, this is where it needs to be very clean and pretty. Okay, so that is the overview of your personal narrative essay. If you have any questions or if you need any of this repeated, just go back through the video and pause it wherever you need it and just get that information again. Okay? Thank you.